Hello guys, today we're going to talk about energy transfers in food chains and food webs. So let's see how energy transfers in the food chain and the food webs. Start from what to the second is going to be what, the third and the others, and what happened to them. So let's see. Bismillah. Guys, we have some steps of transferring energy. These are the steps of transferring energy in a food chain. This is a food chain and they have some steps. First, producers get their energy from the sun. It means producer is what? Plants, right? Grasses, these things, okay? So this grass is going to get their energy from the sun. It means the source of the energy is sun. They are going to take the sunlight energy and make food for they are going to make food for themselves. So it means for producers get their energy from the sun. A herbivore or an omnivore, it's producers to get their energy. It means they cannot make food for themselves. They have to eat grasses or producers. If it's plant, grass, any other fruit, seeds, any other things, they must be producers to get their energy. Then the third one, a carnivore or an omnivore, it's the other animal, it means previous animal, to get their energy. So these are the steps. First, we have producer, then a herbivore or an omnivore to produce to eat the producers to get their energy, then a carnivore or an omnivore to eat the previous animal. It means here is producer and the others are all going to be consumer. We have only two things. What are they? Producer, consumer. The first one is producer and others are all going to be consumer. So guys, but here is something that everybody must know, but here is for some more thinking. You have to think for this one. We have producer, which is plant, okay, grass, seed, food, fruit, any other things, okay, but it must be producer. What should be the first consumer? So if you think about this, before the first consumer, we said the first is producer, then we have consumer, right? And the consumer can get longer and longer. First consumer, second consumer, third consumer, fourth consumer, continuously, okay? It means we have consumer after producer, right? The first consumer must be a herbivore or an omnivore. Why? Because herbivore and omnivore are eating producers, are eating grass, are eating plants. You know, it means you have to understand this part. The first consumer, it means after producer, you can never have a carnivore. Why? Because the first consumer must eat grass or plant or any other producer. Carnivore is not eating grass and plants, okay? Carnivore, we said, carnivore is an animal that eats only meat. So the producers are not meat. It means we can never have carnivore in the first consumer. It must be herbivore or an omnivore. But after the the first consumer, I mean the third, fourth, fifth, until 100, let's say it like that. We can have carnivore, but just the first consumer can never be carnivore. Why? Because the first consumer is going to eat the grass. Carnivore, it will never eat the grass. But at the same time, because after the first consumer, we have second, third, fourth, others, they are eating each other, right? Animal eat animal, animal eat animal. What does it mean? It means we don't have something that eats plant. All are eating each other. All are eating animals. All are eating meat. It means we have only after the first consumer, which can be herbivore or omnivore. After this, they are all animals that eat another animal. It means they are all eating meat, not plant. We said we can never have a carnivore in the first consumer, right? It must be herbivore or omnivore. At the same time, we can never have herbivore in the third, the second, third, fourth, any other one. Herbivore can only be the first consumer. If we have it, it's okay. If we don't have in the third, fourth, fifth, others, we don't have herbivore. Why? Because the other consumers are going to eat each other. It means animal will eat animal. So herbivore is not eating animal, right? Herbivore is going to eat plants, grass, other things. So this is a point that if you just think about this in detail, you will understand this. That we have producer, after producer, we have consumers, maybe 100 consumers, okay? But these consumers, you have to think about the first one. The first one must be herbivore or an omnivore. It can never be carnivore because the first one is going to eat grass or plants. And also, because after the first one, they are all animals. There are animals that are eating another animal. It means the other are eating meat. It must be carnivore or omnivore, right? So that's a point that you have to know about them. And the third step can get longer and longer, as we said. The first one is producer that get the sun, their energy from the sun. We said, and the second step is herbivore or omnivore, or we can say an omnivore that eats producer to get their energy. It means these are going to eat here the grass. And the third step, which is carnivore or an omnivore that eats another animal to get energy. It means this snake is going to eat the rabbit or mouse or grasshopper, or any of them. We will say. It means the third step is going to eat the second animal, right? Fourth is going to eat this one. Fifth is going to eat this one. It means they are after the producer. They are all animals and they are going to eat each other. It means the first consumer must be herbivore to eat the grass. After first consumer, all are going to be carnivore or omnivore. Why? Because animal will eat animal. Animal will eat animal. You see? We have only the animals that eat meat. That's why we said the first one can never be carnivore because it must eat a grass or plants. And after the first consumer, we can never have herbivore because only animal eat animal. A herbivore will never eat animal. So that's the food chain. The sun will give the energy to the grass to the another animal, if it's zebra, deer, or any other things. Then to the next one, which is a lion, a tiger, any other, we said. A carnivore, omnivore. It means after producer, we must have herbivore or omnivore. We will never have carnivore. After producer, we can never have carnivore. And after the first consumer, we can never have herbivore. Why? Because animal will eat animal, and another animal will eat this one, another will eat this. Animal will eat animal. That's why only the first consumer can be herbivore. After first consumer, we will never have herbivore. These are the steps of transferring energy from the sun to the producer to the herbivore or an omnivore, and omnivore, or we'll give to them carnivore, omnivore, or omnivore, another carnivore, omnivore, another carnivore. It means continuously only carnivore and omnivore. Only the first one can be herbivore and omnivore. But you have to know this one. Omnivore can be the first consumer or others. Only omnivore. Carnivore can never be the first consumer. Herbivore can never be after the first consumer. It means any of them, third, fourth, any, can never be. So these are. And guys, energy transfers in food chain and food web again. So, but you have to know that energy transfer, we said in the previous step, we said energy will transfer from this to this, right? But not all the energy passes or transfers from an animal to the next animal. So what has happened to the energy? If all is not going to transfer, what is going to happen to this? The energy in the food chain or a food web gets less and less. It means continuously the energy will get less. From one animal to another, it will get less. And now this animal to the next one, the energy will get less. Some lost. But how? That's how energy decrease in a food chain. Let's see how. What happened to the energy that they decrease, okay? Guys, three things are going to happen to an animal during eating the previous animal or previous step. Okay, so this energy that transfer, for example, we say, so some the animal will use, the living thing will use to stay alive. Some of the energy directly it's going to use to stay alive, and some else will use, will be hit and transfer to surroundings. Okay, it means transfer to the surroundings as heat. So these two are clear. Some to stay alive, some to surrounding, and some will be stored in the animal's body. Only, and here only the stored in part, the stored energy from animal will be transferred to the next animal. That's why we say or not all energy, because some to stay alive, some as heat, and some stored. It means one part will transfer to the next animal. Two parts are going to use by the animal and also environment. That's it. If you look here, it's so clear to understand. The sun is going to give 100, let's say like this. We have to say 100 joule because it's energy, but let's say 100 to understand. Okay, so 100 energy to the grass. The grass is going to use 20 of the energy to stay alive, and 10 will transfer to the surrounding as heat. How much left? We have 100. We will use 20 to stay alive, 10 to surrounding. It means 30 will be used, right? How much left? 70. 70 is going to store in the grass. When the zebra, whatever you say, eats the grass, will take only this 70, not the 20, because 20 has gone, and the 10 also had gone. Okay, done. These two had gone. How? By staying alive for surrounding environment, and the zebra cannot take back. So done. It has used it. Only the 70 that has stored in the grass will be transferred to the zebra. And what happened to this 70 energy? This zebra again will use 20 to stay alive. It means for right now, using as energy to moving for everything. We need energy, right? They need energy too to stay alive. And 10 to surrounding. How much left? 70 transferred. 20 to stay alive, 10 for surrounding, 10 and 20, 30, right? 30, the zebra will get 70, 30 will go. How much left? 40, right? The zebra will get 70 energy, 20 for staying alive, 10 for surrounding. It means 30 gone, 30 lost. How much left? 40. It means 40 energy is going to be stored in the zebra's body. So, and when a lion is going to eat the zebra, what's gonna happen? The lion will take only 40. Why? Because the lion cannot get the 20 that's used for stay alive and the 10 to surrounding. Only how much stored in the body? We said only 40 stored in the body. It means 40 will transfer to the lion. The lion too will use 20 to stay alive, 10 to the surrounding. It means 30, right? The lion took 40, 30 gone. How much left? 10. So this 10 will transfer to the next animal, which eat the lion. This animal will use some to stay alive, some surrounding, some will store. The next animal will use some to stay alive, some to the surrounding, some will store. You see, continuously, in every time you see, it starts from 100 to 70 to 40, transferring energy. First, 100 transfer from the sun to the grass. Then the grass to the zebra, only 70 transferred. The zebra to the lion, only 40 transferred. The lion to the next one, only 10 will be transferred. You see? That is how energy will transfer and how energy will decrease. Because of using by the living things will be decreased. So this point will tell us that is going to decrease. Only stored energy will transfer. not the energy that used for to staying alive, not the energy that moving to as heat to the surroundings. These two will be lost. Only how much stored in its body will be stored and transferred to the next animal. One more time, not all energy will pass to one animal to another. The energy in the food chain will get less and less. That's why less and less, 100 to 70, 70 to 40, 40 to 10. You see, less and less continuously from an animal to another one will decrease. And that's how energy decrease in the food chain. Some will be used to stay alive by the animal or by the living thing, you can say. So some energy will be transferred to the surroundings as heat. Some energy will be stored in the animal's body. Only the last part, the stored part, can be transferred to the next animal. These two has gone. These two had gone done. Don't talk about them. Only stored part. The others will. It means during each transferring, some energy lost. Okay, some energy will be lost during each transferring from the sun to the grass. It's okay. It will get the full energy 100 because sun will not use any energy to stay alive. So when the grass get 100 energy, it will use 20 to stay alive, 10 to surrounding. It means 30, right? It took 100. 30 has used it, and how much left? 70. And the 70 will be stored. Will transfer to the zebra when they eat the grass. Zebra will use 20 to stay alive, 10 to the surrounding. How much left? 20 and 10, 30. 30 the zebra got 70. 30 had used it. 30. 30 minus 70, 40. 40 left to as stored. Then the zebra will be eaten by the lion. The lion will use 20 to stay alive and 10 to the surroundings as heat. How much left? The lion got 40. The lion got 40. 20 to stay alive, 10 to the surrounding. It means 30 has used it. It got 40. 30 has used it. How much left? 10. 10 will be stored in the animal's body. The next animal will get 10 energy from the lion. It will use some to stay alive, some to the surroundings, some will store. Let's say this 10 will transfer to the next animal, and this next animal will use let's say 4 to stay alive, to the surrounding. 6 will left. 6 will transfer to the next animal. This 6 for 2 to stay alive, 1 to the surrounding, 3 will left. This 3 will transfer to the next. You see, for after each steps, this energy will decrease. That's it. In the food chain, during each step, some energy lost and only some will be transferred. Not all energy transfer. Be careful. Don't say zebra will take all energy from the grass, lion will take all energy from the zebra. So this is false. Only some energy will transfer, not all. Of course, the grass needs energy to stay alive. Of course, needs energy to make heat. To the surrounding. The zebra also needs energy to stay alive. Needs energy. It will take energy to the surroundings as heat. It means, of course, some must be lost. Some will transfer to the next. And if you look here, the bean plant will to the grasshopper, and you see the energy transfer. During this energy transfer, some energy lost in the food chain. The grasshopper to the lizard, some will lost. This to the hog, some will lost. You see, in each step, some energy will be lost here. Okay, so then the first consumer, second, third. As we said, the first consumer is what? Is going to be only herbivore or omnivore. It will never be carnivore. And the third consumer, fourth consumer, fifth, any other we have can be carnivore and omnivore. We will never have herbivore after the first consumer. Only the first consumer can be herbivore. Only the first. After the first consumer, we will never have a herbivore. If we have it from the first, we have it. If we don't have, done. In the second, third, others, we will never have a herbivore. And also, we will never have a carnivore in the first consumer. first consumer, because the first consumer, it's the plant, the producer, it must be herbivore or omnivore, because only herbivore and omnivore are going to eat grass or plants. Okay, carnivore will never eat them. And also because in the other consumers, second, third, fourth, it's animal will eat animal, animal will eat animal. You see, it means something eats meat, it's not eating plants. Something will eat meat. We must have carnivore or omnivore, because it's animal, it must be something that eats meat. So that's our lesson for today. The steps that producer will get energy from the sun, and herbivore omnivore will take it from the producer. Then carnivore and omnivore will take it from the previous animal and transfer it continuously. So that's it, from sun to the grass, grass to the another animal, another to another, continuously. And also not all energy, we said, transfer, and how energy decrease by this to staying alive, surroundings as heat, and only some will be stored. We said only stored energy will be transferred to the next animal. We explain it. Some will be to stay alive, some for surroundings, some will be stored. Something will eat it, someone, an animal, we can say, will be eating the stored part. Then another one will eat the stored part. Some stay alive, some surrounding. These two, some stay alive, some surrounding. Some will be stored. Only stored part will transfer to the next. That's why 100 becomes 70, 70 becomes 40, 40 becomes 10, 10 becomes, let's say, 6. How much do you say? Okay, continuously they will change during each steps. During each step, something will eat another one, something will eat another one. During each step, some energy will lost. Okay, so we said from transferring energy from plants to the grasshopper, some energy will lost, because the plant will use some to stay alive, some surrounding as heat. The grasshopper, the lizard, some will lost, because the grasshopper will use some to stay alive, some as heat. They continuously, all of them are like that. They will use some to stay alive, some as surrounding as heat. That's why some will be lost in this process. Only some will transfer to the next, some will to the next, some to the next. Only stored part, you see. That's all about energy transfers in food chain and food webs. I hope you understand, and if you have any questions, you can just ask it. Have a nice time.